Hello and welcome to this video. So this is our photography video in this mini series. We talk about how to enter some photography. So photography is in the Communications and Expressive Arts department, and it starts on page 65 in the premium book. There are 3 levels of photography, and then the fourth, level 4, is actually the videography. So these bulleted items are what go along with the lessons in your project book, which you should be using if you're doing the project. And so, like, for example, on the bird's or bug's eye view. So in that lesson, you're learning about taking pictures from different viewpoints. So maybe way up above is the bird's eye view, or maybe really down below looking up is the bug's eye view. So the things that you've learned in that, you could take up to 4 photos that show what you learned. And if you do that, you would display them all on one board. So you'd have maybe, like if this is your display, you would have your 4 photos on this. They're all in a line. And those would be all one item, and they'd be judged as one item. The other way that some kids take this is, so maybe what you did is you learned all these things, and in the bird's or bug's eye view, you take your favorite photo that you did that shows this concept, and you only enter that one photo. Okay, but the 4 doesn't mean you get to do 4 separate photos and get a ribbon on those 4 items. It's only 1, but you could enter up to 4 things on a display board. So make sure you're always reading the directions at the front of any of the projects, but especially photography, because there are a few things that'll instantly keep you from getting like a blue or a purple ribbon, if you don't have it mounted correctly and everything like that. So all of the photos, so it says right here, all the photos except for the matted entries in a class are to be mounted together on white poster board as one entry. And that's obviously if you're entering them more than one. So if you choose to do just one, it would just be on one. But they're all entered as one thing, okay? Each photo must be mounted with photo corners. Those are those little corners that are sticky on one side, and you'd put, one on each corner of your photo and put them on. And there should also be a 1-inch margin on all the sides. So when it's mounted there, if there's not that 1-inch margin, whether maybe it's too big or too small, the judge is going to pull you down in ribbon. So it might be a blue ribbon photo, but you might get a red ribbon on it. Or maybe it's they don't let you enter it at all. So just make sure you're following those directions. And then, we're not doing it with a ruler, so it doesn't have to be exactly 1 inch, but visually they can tell the difference. The things that are listed that you can take come directly from your project book. So every year I have kids that say, well, I don't know what do you see is. And I say, do you have the book? Well, no. Well, you can't take photography without taking the book. The book is what's explaining the concept of what you're learning. So using your book, these are the things you should be doing. Then at the bottom, so the black and white photo, that would be your favorite of those. The best matted 4x6 or 8x10. And those are matted, which means that the photo goes behind the matting, not on front of with the photo corners. And you can also take a poster or any other that's not here that's related to level 1. And in level 1, you do learn how to mat things and cropping and all that, which is where these last ones come in, because you've learned those skills. So remember, with photography, you need to be using your book. And from your book, it's going to teach you what it is that they're going over in each of these bullet points. And then you're entering a display of, let's say you take control, you're going to do 6 different photos, all with a different aperture. And you're showing how that aperture changes the photos. So another way to think of it is when you're doing like the up to 4 or however, it's your way of showing what you learned. And then with the judge, you should be able to talk about aperture if you did that one. Low light challenges, you should be able to talk about lighting and how that affects things, or how lighting the mood, using that hard and soft light. You're going to get more out of your photography project if you're using the book, and it's also going to help you in entering the items. Okay, if you have any more questions about photography, let us know. Thank you.